like to greet everyone a good evening and, of course, a happy Friday. Wow, it's been 3 weeks since April or the month of April started, and we're just 1 week to go until we meet the month of May. So that was very quick. Wouldn't you agree? That was quick, right? 1 week and it's already the month of May. So I think this is the perfect time for you to decide what career would you like to really continue, especially with the economy rising, with the issues with commuting, and the minimum wage is still basically it cannot even sustain the lifestyle of workers. So we'll be tackling advantages of being a virtual assistant and also your path to success. Okay, so let me know if every one of you is ready. And can I get a thumbs up as well? Thank you so much. Okay, so let's start. Before anything else, this is the title for our webinar tonight. So, Virtual Assistant Jumpstart. Your path to success starts here. This is basically a definitive guide for you to master the skills and strategies on how to be an efficient and better virtual assistant. Okay, so this is the webinar agenda that we have for tonight. So as you can see, we will be exploring the booming demand for virtual assistants, the essential skills that you need to thrive in the virtual assistant industry, practical tips for developing in-demand skills, leveraging your unique strengths and experiences, effective communication strategies for virtual relationships. Of course, I will also be sharing the available positions that we have here in Virtudesk. And lastly, a lot of you are really asking about the application process here at Virtudesk. And also, we'll be spending at least a couple of minutes by the end of the webinar to discuss your questions and your inquiries. All right. So I know that some of you joined this because you wanted to know what a virtual assistant is. I would also like to ask you, what is the possible reason that you want to switch being a virtual assistant or to becoming a virtual assistant? Because for me, if I'm gonna be really telling you honestly, my reason for switching to virtual assistant, I've been working as a call center agent for 6 years, but I really strive to learn skills for me to work at home because I have kids. That's first. Second is I hate commuting, working and then basically spending 2 to 3 hours before your shift just for preparing and for commuting. Next is also the salary. Of course, let's be honest that the reason why we are working is we need money, and we aim for a better salary that can provide efficiently and will be sufficient for our family as well. Lastly, I want to experience work and life balance. So let me read some of your answers. Wow, flexible time, comfortability, salary, freedom. Yes, work from anywhere. The convenience of working at home. All right. All of your answers are correct. Of course, we have our personal reasons, and sometimes maybe it's career related. But at the end, it's always whatever works for us, whatever is good for our mental health. I think that's the most important. So, some of you are asking, what does a virtual assistant do? And in this topic, we will understand what do we really do as VAs or as virtual assistants. So we have lots of roles and responsibilities and tasks from, social media managing and whatsoever. But basically what a virtual assistant do is that you are providing administrative tasks to your clients that is not physically here, or you're not working physical office. You are working from anywhere that can sustain the required internet, and basically you're providing them administrative support and assistance for them to work efficiently, especially that some of the clients are always busy, and that's our role as virtual assistants. So what are some of the essential skill set as a virtual assistant? Can you share some of the skill sets that you have? Attention to details and urge to help others. Yes, that's true, because you'll be working with your clients, so You have to be very understanding. You have to have patience as well. Okay, what else? Being proactive, eager to learn and upskill. So let me share you the essential skill sets as a virtual assistant. So first is communication skills. Of course, we have to learn or we need to know how to communicate in English. This is actually one of the most important thing because your clients are located overseas, and of course, the universal language is English, and it's a language that most of the people would really understand. Organizational skills, you have to be organized. You have to know how to sort things so that you can easily locate them. Time management. Okay, this is also important. You don't want to finish a certain task for 5 hours when you can even finish it for just 1 hour or even less than that. Time management is very important because it will help you do or finish multiple tasks in a specific period of time. Technical proficiency, of course, you have to be tech savvy. You have to how to um, know how to use the computer. You need to know how to basically use tools and applications or websites because most of your tasks, actually, all of your work is by using a computer since you are working virtually. Research skills, you have to be independent in searching for the things that you have to know or whatever your client asks you to. Data entry, of course. I know that some of you are familiar. Raise your hands or give me a thumbs up if some of you has experience in data entry. I think data entry is one of the most easiest but exhausting and tiring job because you have to input codes, numbers, data, and it may sound easy, but finishing these kinds of uh, data is really time consuming. Internet skills. I would also relate internet skills in terms of what do we call this? What's the term for that? Like you have to know how to troubleshoot. So by troubleshooting, that means that if in case you might have or you might encounter some errors in your computer, you need to know how to fix it on your own without asking for any assistance. Of course, you need some assistance, but it takes good skills for you to search the internet, the YouTube, or whatever, because maybe some of the steps are easy to do and it can save a lot of time for you. And lastly, customer service. So one of the reasons of Virtudesk hiring virtual assistants is for us to provide customer service for the client's customers or consumers. We want to make sure that they are well assisted, that by the end of the call, by the end of the email, by the end of the chat, they're able to get the answers that they need. Aside from that, we also have writing and editing. So you need to know how to proofread. Okay, so you don't want to submit a certain project where you didn't reviewed it. That's very important. Also, social media management. Social media management that consists of several social media platforms. Next slide, please. Thank you. So guys, can you let me or can you chat it on our chat box? What are the examples of social media platforms? Facebook. What else? Instagram. Yes. Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. Yeah, so all of these are examples of social media platforms. And to have social media management skills, that means that you will be able to handle these kinds of social media platforms, post, reply, comment, and manage on behalf of your clients. Next is project management. You need to know how to do project management, which means that you have to decide on things that's gonna be good for the long run for your clients or for the client's business. Bookkeeping and accounting, that depends on the position, but of course, you need to know how to do numbers if that's the position that you're applying for. Graphic design and multimedia, you need to know how to edit. Um, what else? Like shoot videos, pictures, edit, and enhance or whatsoever. Next is language skills. So there are some of positions that has like customer service and then they require bilingual. So it's really an advantage if you know how to speak other languages as well. Problem solving, you need to know how to solve certain projects for your task. And lastly, confidentiality. This is also one of the most important because your client trusts you with their information, with their resources, or everything that you need to know, even with their personal lives. You handle their schedules, you handle their daily tasks. So it's important for you to stay confidential and you do not share any other client's information. Actually, I think it's a basic etiquette, not only even if it's your client, even if it's just your friend, your parents, your siblings, or your loved ones. It's not good to share like almost everything from other people's lives. So that's really one of the most important factors that a client is looking for. So are you still good? Can I get a thumbs up, guys? Thank you so much. So we will be building a virtual assistant career for you. And how do we build it? That's the first question. So first is you need to set up your workspace. You have to have a designated workspace at home, quiet, peaceful, and clutter-free. Choose a niche. Right now, guys, let me know what is a specific niche that you're trying to pursue or that you're trying to learn. Because me, when I started, I really love doing videos and edit thumbnails because I have a YouTube account before. So that's what I do. I edit my thumbnails, I edit my videos, and then somehow as I create videos, personal videos, that's where I gain my confidence, and that's why I am in front of you right now and letting you know the experiences that I have. But before that, I started using Movie Maker for editing videos, and then I think that was PhotoGrid and the Lightroom when I was still experimenting with graphic design. Aside from that, I think one of the factors that helped me as well is when I had my experience as a call center agent. So that increased my confidence more in terms of speaking and in terms of communicating, bargaining, and just basically assisting customers via phone call. Next is to assess your skills and interests. So since you already mentioned the niche that you wanted, are you sure with that specific niche? Are you sure that you have the certain skills and interests? Are you sure that you're passionate to continue? So that's what you have to ask yourself. Next is to train and develop your skills. That means by joining webinars like this, increasing your skills by doing projects on your own, speaking in front of the mirror. What else? Learning grammar, learning how to design, learn how to manage emails, learn how to book appointments for your clients. And next is for you to set up your business. That means that by setting up your business, you have to create your resume, you have to create your portfolio, you have to start to construct your cover letter, and also to build your online profile. Next step as well is for you to build an impressive portfolio, which we already mentioned. Next is client onboarding. That is when you're already approached by a client. And next is to market yourself. Marketing yourself, that means basically showing off your skills when it comes to interviews. Pricing your services. Make sure, guys, that you price your service right. Okay? Because that doesn't mean that you already have an experience of editing a certain logo for just 3 months. You're going to rate yourself $10 to $15 per hour. That's not how it goes, guys. The more that you develop your skills, the more years that you are practicing, then that's how you price yourself. Okay? Make sure to price yourself with the certain experience that you have as well. And lastly, networking. That means that if you already have your experiences, then I think it's time for you to network yourself, to network your skills. Like me, I'm teaching you guys, and this is what it means when we are networking. We are not networking with the usual networking that we have in the Philippines, like I will make your 1 peso, 500 peso in a day. That's not how networking in virtual assistant industry is. Networking means that you invite more people to learn your skills. You invite more people to be interested in this kind of industry to help our economy as well. Okay? Can I get a thumbs up, guys? I saw you laugh with the networking. I don't know if it's still ongoing right now, but yes. You know, if you receive easy money, it won't last long. Trust me. Next is we are now going to discuss certain skill sets. So you have to have communication skills, again, confidentiality, security, and privacy, time management, client relationship. Guys, your client is your boss, so you don't be too all-knowing, or you're mandating everything to your boss. And lastly, accountability. That means that if you commit mistakes, if there are any errors in your tasks or output, make sure, guys, to be accountable for it. Do not try to blame other people for what you did, okay? Make sure to make yourself accountable with whatever mistakes that you've done. Next slide is all about exploring the booming demand for virtual assistant. Okay, yes, it's true. Virtual assistants industry right now is really booming, and a lot of people are really asking lots of questions with it, especially that right now the commuting process all the way to work is just really stressful. It's exhausting, and it's not worth your time and effort. So a lot of people really divert their time into applying and to learning skills to become a virtual assistant. So what are the reasons why virtual assistance industry is currently a booming demand right now? First is the remote work trend. I think it's not really common, here in the Philippines, that we are working remotely. The practice here in the Philippines in the professional industry is that you work 8 a.m., travel or commute to office, and then you go home by 5 p.m. But that's not it, guys. You're not gonna commute by 8 a.m. because you have to wake up 4 a.m. in the morning. The reason for that is for you to make sure that you have jeepneys to ride on and that you can arrive at work on time. And then you get out from work around 5 p.m. But again, that's just clocking out. You'll arrive, or you'll be able to go home at 7 to 8 p.m. So there's no time for your family. There's no time for leisure, for activities, and for enjoyment, because once you arrive at 8 p.m., you're already tired and you'll spend most of your time sleeping. Do you agree with that, guys? I've been in that position before, and it's really tiring, it's exhausting, it's draining your mental health, and it's not mentally healthy and physically healthy as well. So instead of 9 hours working, you spend 12 to 13 hours including the commute. Okay, and then that's not it. You still pay for the fare, and sometimes if there's no jeepney available, then you might end up riding a taxi, which is really expensive. So that's one of the reasons why currently it's trending. Virtual assistance is trending because businesses want real skills. Okay? In the virtual assistance industry, your clients or agencies like these doesn't really require you to finish a 4-year course. What they only need is your commitment, your honesty, your dedication, and the skills that you have that is perfect for what they need in their brands or with their business. Aside from that, is cost effectiveness. It's currently booming because you can save more money. Aside from the high salary that you have, you don't need to worry buying clothes for your outfits or your OOTDs. I know that I've been there before. It's really stressful. Like, you have to decide what you have to wear before going to work. I don't know if you experienced that. Aside from that, you have to also prepare lunch packs, or your lunch or your snacks, which is sometimes, of course, if you're in the office, it's very common to have Starbucks, and it's expensive, and sometimes it's not part of the budget, but you have because you are pressured. Again, I'm not really pointing this out as something negative. Of course, you can go buy coffee if you want to, but sometimes, if it's not within your budget, and then some of your coworkers is inviting you, it's difficult to say no because you want it for yourself as well. Yes, that is correct. Pressure is real. It is real, and it is really common in the professional field or area. But again, if you're working at home, you're not pressured by anybody else. You're not consistently monitored by your bosses 24/7. And I think some of the people prefers that because they become more effective if they are working alone and if there's no one bothering them. Okay? The reason is I deserve this. Yes. Minsan lang naman, or sana all. Those lines is something that's really making us end up broke by the end of the month. It's just funny to think about it, but it's really a reality. Next or last is advancements in technology. So guys, this is right now I consider this as a life skill, especially that in the century that we have right now, technology is really fast approaching. It's consistently changing, and there are lots of upgrades. There are lots of demands in the technology field. There are many people who wants to enter these kinds of job because aside from a high paying job, it's an advantage for you. It's an advantage for your mind, and it's actually gonna contribute to the experiences that you have. So being advanced in technology is really a life skill for me. Kudos to those who can do Python, to those who can do, JavaScript, to those who can be a web developer. It's a high paying job, guys, and it's an advantage for you, especially that technology is controlling our lives now. So that's one of the advantages, and that's one of the reasons why virtual assistants is currently booming right now, because you can even start a business just by posting it online or on Facebook. You can start selling things just by doing live on TikTok, and everything is just basically on screens right now. So as you can see here, cloud-based productivity tools, project management software is really controlling. Some agencies are creating businesses or tools or software to create, like self-appointment calendar, something like that. Like you can create businesses just by using computer, and it's an advantage, guys. Okay? So can I get a heart if you're still there, guys? Let me know if I'm going too fast. Okay, good. So, what are the essential skills that you have or you need to have to thrive in the virtual assistance industry? Guys, I know that your ears might be ringing from this specific topic, but I have to discuss this like almost every webinar because this is really important. And being in the virtual assistance industry for almost 2 years now, I can say that as time goes by, you get too comfortable, and sometimes you get to forget these kinds of things. Again, first is excellent communication skills, especially if you're gonna do reportings or meetings and such. You have to have that kind of skills. Next is organizational skills. Okay, make sure to sort emails, rename them if possible, so it won't really confuse you. Next is tech savviness. Okay. Attention to detail. You have to be very keen in observing mistakes, problem solving skills, self motivation. I think this is also important because, again, you are working remotely, you are working alone, and you have to embrace integrity. Integrity means that you'll be doing what's right even though no one's looking. So do not dare to cheat, create mistakes that your boss is not aware of because that's just not really professional. Next is adaptability. You need to know how to adapt to certain changes, certain schedule changes, certain updates, and you need to make sure that you research so that you'll be on track and you'll be updated as well. And confidentiality and integrity, yes, and continuous learning. Okay, if you have free time, make sure to read books, read websites, or read updates online. So we will be leveraging your unique strengths and experiences. So with that, that means that we are going to upskill today here in our webinar. So to upskill and to leverage your skills, we first need to identify your strengths. What are your strengths? What is the skill that you're good at? Or what is it something that you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy doing graphic designing, or do you enjoy assisting customers through phone? So identify your skills because you need to use that so you can adapt to changes real quick. Basically, when you're identifying your strengths, you have to ask yourself what sets you apart from other virtual assistants, or what is something that's unique with the skills or with your portfolio or with your resume. Next is to specialize in a niche. So with the niche that you provided recently or earlier in the chat box, so focus on that. Invest your time, invest financially if possible, and make sure that by the end of the year, end of the month, end of the week, you have something that you just learned. Because as time goes by, once all of the learnings and the knowledge that you're able to listen to, it will contribute well to your portfolio. And next is to embrace your personality, guys. Do not compare yourself to others. Do not compare your skill sets to other applicants or to other VAs because we are unique in our own ways. So if your friend is good at graphic designing, then maybe that's where he or she is really good at. That's why you need to figure out what is your strength because that's how you'll be able to embrace your personality. Next is to showcase your portfolio. Guys, make sure that the design of your portfolio is not really chaotic, but sometimes that would work if you are in creative industry. Okay, some of the portfolios are really colorful like that. But if you're applying for a virtual assistant doing administrative tasks, guys, make it professional as possible. Highlight your skills and do not include your bibliography, guys. Okay, I think it's still common right now that some of the portfolios, like, it's still in a biodata form. Okay, I'm not pointing it out in a negative way, but again, guys, just what I've mentioned earlier, the technology is fast approaching and it's vastly changing. So you have to make sure that you make your portfolio stand out or your resume stand out. Just include, guys, your educational attainment. That's it, your previous work experiences, and then also your previous outputs or like projects. Okay. Maybe I can use that as one of our next topic here in our webinar. So we'll be tackling about how to create your portfolio or how to create an effective resume. Okay. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you think that's a good topic for the next 2 weeks. Good. I think everyone is interested. All right. So next is later on we'll be sending our survey, guys, so that we can ask you um titles or topics that you want for our next webinar. Next is to have continuous improvement. Okay, guys, make sure that you have improvement. Okay, the only thing that you have to fear is if you still stay the same from a year ago. Okay, there's nothing that changed even a bit from yourself 1 year ago. Okay, that's something that you need to be aware of, that you need to be scared of. Make sure that every day you have something to learn. I know that all of us are busy, and I'm guilty with that as well because sometimes I spend most of the time sleeping. And I think that's normal because sometimes you get drained as well and you get tired from the pressure of the world or the pressure of the things around you. But make sure, guys, that by the end of the year, end of the month, you have something that you learn. Maybe it technology field, maybe it intrapersonal skills or communication skills, anything, as long as you're upgrading and you have continuous improvement. Okay? Can I get a heart, guys, just to make sure that you're still alive and you're still learning? Do you like the topic? The topic is good, right? Okay, good. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for the response. With that kind of response, I am really, really happy because I know that you are learning, and I know that you can use this for, your application as a virtual assistant. Okay, so we'll now proceed to our interview tips. So these are our interview tips. So I know interview tips are really nerve-wracking. Okay, it's really something that you get anxious of, you get nervous of, and that's really normal, guys, because you're applying for a job, maybe as much as overreacting as it may seem, but sometimes your life depends on interviews. What you'll be eating for next month depends on your interviews, and the situation that you have, whether if it's family or personal, depends on these kinds of interviews. And that's really important for you to embrace that nervousness and that anxiousness that you're feeling, because that means that you are still open to improvements. So these are our interview tips. So before the interview, you have to research about the company. Okay. Next is also prepare for STAR stories. STAR. Situation, task, action, and result. Okay. Take note of that, guys. Okay. Next is understand the job description. Guys, if you are applying for a graphic designer position, please do not submit videos, guys. Okay? If you're applying for a video editor, do not submit projects of your logos or projects of graphic designing. Okay? Understand, guys, the job description. If you're applying for a certain position, then that's the portfolio or resume that you have to submit as well. Okay? Next is questions to ask. Of course, you have to be wise in asking for questions, not questions that are already given or already answered by the interviewer. Okay, but because that's just not really professional, answer questions like, is there a possibility for me to be promoted? Or what do you require for me to be promoted? Or is there any available positions for me that can help me enhance my skills or something like that? Okay. Next is prepare your elevator pitch. Like, know how to pitch yourself, know how to express your idea or ideas without sounding boastful. Prepare how you would market yourself, and prepare how you would present your rates to your interviewer. And lastly is to dress appropriately. Guys, this is a basic life skill. Okay, do not wear sandals, do not wear jersey, do not wear anything that's revealing, do not wear caps or hats or sunglasses. Okay? For heaven's sake, do not wear sunglasses while doing interviews. Believe it or not, guys, we experienced that as well. And yeah, I've heard interviewers ranting because the applicant is wearing glasses while doing the interview. I know it's really really funny. Sometimes there are also applicants who conducts interview. They have clothes hanging in the background, children running in the background. So guys, it's not professional. Make sure if you have the interview, guys, make sure that you are dressed appropriately, you're confident. It's everything is quiet and peaceful. Okay? Next is during the interview. Okay, we're now during the interview. Okay, arrive early, guys. Okay, if your scheduled interview is around 11 a.m., guys, arrive 10:30 a.m. Spend 30 minutes of your time to test your tools, to test your audio, to test your lighting, and to test how fast your internet is. Okay? Next is greet with confidence. Okay? Not greeting in a way that you're feeling close to the interviewer, but greet like, hello, good morning. My name is Joanna, and I'm very much interested for the position, and I'm ready for the interview today. Okay, something like that. Something casual and basically friendly but professional. Next is active listening. Okay, listen actively, guys. Okay, listen about the rules, listen about the must do, and also listen to the do's and don'ts of the company. Next is body language. Okay, do not move. Um, do not, like, just sit straight. Okay, do not move if it's unnecessary. Again, there are also applicants who keeps on moving while interview. Okay, do not do that, guys. It's just unprofessional. And do not make faces as well. Next is answering questions. Be professional. Answer concise, short, but straight to the point. And be honest, guys, okay? Especially if we're asking you about their previous work experiences, how many years have you been in this industry? Be honest, guys, because sometimes that's where we test your honesty as well. And show enthusiasm, show that you're interested. Okay, do not come in through interviews with just a poker face. Okay, if you know what I mean. Smile and make sure that you're interested and happy that you are interviewed for this position. And stay positive. Okay, during the interview, do not be nervous, do not think about what the result is, but just focus on the interview itself. Okay, and lastly, time management. Okay, learn how to manage your time, guys. Do not schedule your interview. Sometimes that the interviewer might be the one to schedule the certain um schedule for you, but if there's any way for you to say like, hello, I'm quite busy that time, can we schedule it at least 30 minutes in advance or at least maybe 1 hour after? Okay, guys, your interviewers or the HR team would not really bite you. Okay, do not be afraid of them, just communicate with them regularly on what are your needs are so that they can cater to it as well. Okay, next is after. Yes, there are also aftercares for interview. That includes follow up. Okay, do not follow up, guys, like 1 minute after your interview. That's really funny. Okay, do not follow up like after your interview. We'll chat the interviewer right away. Hello, am I pass? When will I start? What is my salary? Guys, that's just really unprofessional. Okay, wait for their emails. Wait for their updates. Normally, the typical time frame for an interview result is around 24 to 48 hours. If you still haven't received any response within 48 hours, then that's the time that you can email them in a nice way. Like, hello, good morning. I would just like to follow up my application. So, here's my name, the date of my interview, and whatsoever. Okay. Next is reflect and improve. So while doing the interviews, after you done your interviews, just sit down, meditate, take out your pen and notebook and just write, did I do great? Was my grammar okay? Was I able to answer the questions efficiently and concisely? Is my posture good? Is my body language good? Okay, so take some time to reflect and improve. Okay, and again, stay patient. Okay? Stay patient, guys. Be patient. Learn to wait. Wait for their updates and just stay patient, guys, because sometimes the best things in life can be received just by waiting. Okay? Because waiting means that you're ready and prepared enough to receive that kind of congratulations and good news. Okay, so before we proceed, we would just like to present you a quick example of an interview mock
Hello,
call,
my
so you'll know how what the questions might be. Okay.
Hello, my name is Sugar. I am from the talent acquisition of Virtudesk, and I will be conducting your interview for today. Can you tell me your name?
Hi, good morning, and thank you so much for having me in this interview. My name is Sophia.
Nice to meet you, Sophia. Can you tell me about yourself?
I am very interested to apply here at Virtudesk. So I have no virtual assistant experience, but just to let you know that I've been in the BPO industry for the past 5 years, and I also have around 6 months experience as an ESL tutor.
It's good to know that you have such experience. And yes, we do accept newbies here. You're welcome in Virtudesk. How about for the position that you're applying for? What position is it?
Yeah, so I've tried to visit the Virtudesk website and I've seen that the company offers three positions available, and I was very interested to apply in the EVA position or the executive virtual assistant.
What about your idea of a virtual assistant? Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, being a virtual assistant has a lot of tasks, but I did my research, and right now, what I know about being a virtual assistant is that we provide clients support or also perform different tasks for them in behalf of the company. We can also help them in terms of managing their daily schedule without the need of a physical appearance.
That is actually correct. Working as a virtual assistant, you will be providing your help to your client virtually. Thank you for doing your research, by the way. Moving on to my next question. Since you have mentioned that you applied for the Executive Virtual Assistant Pro, do you know anything that an executive virtual assistant does?
Yes, so I've tried to compare the specific position to the rest of the position that the company offers, and I've seen that the roles and responsibility of an EVA would be a combination of voice and non-voice tasks. That would be social media managing, data entry. Also, we are responsible for helping the client in terms of managing and organizing their emails, setting up appointments for them, and also answer inbound and outbound calls for them.
Awesome. That's actually correct. EVA position or executive virtual assistant position is actually one of our hybrid positions. So meaning you will be doing both voice and non-voice tasks. Okay, so moving on. Can you tell me what you know about Virtudesk?
There are a lot of different companies in the market right now that offers jobs for aspiring virtual assistant, but what made me interested in applying at Virtudesk is that I've seen a lot of reviews and comments from previous clients, also applicants and employees that Virtudesk gives equal opportunities and chances for everyone. Also, that Virtudesk has a great and strong support system, and what I also love about it is that we do get unlimited coaching sessions, which means that if we need any assistance or help at all, then there's really someone or a group of people that would definitely help us as soon as possible.
All right. So it's good to know that you actually did your research about the company, and we really appreciate you taking the time to, get to know Virtudesk. So that is actually correct. We are really open, to working with different types of people, especially for those if we see that they are fit to work with, our respective clients as well. So thank you so much. And yes, that actually concludes our interview for today. And thank you so much for your time, Sophia. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right. Again, that was me and one of our EVAs. So again, that is what we call a mock call interview. So that is one way for you to practice. And before we proceed discussing the available positions here at Virtudesk, I would just like to ask you, what are your observations on that specific mock call, or what have you learned that you think you might use in the future? It's okay. No, there's no, what they call that? There's no wrong answer. Yes, it's straightforward and confident. Okay, guys, do not see the video as me. Okay, see it as yourself. Okay, like view it from your own point of view. That is correct. Yeah, the girl researched about the position. The girl was prepared, or the applicant. Let's just call it applicant, especially with the questions. Yes, prepared and confident. Okay, so that's an example, guys, of how you handle interviews. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Let's give a thumbs up for the mock call interview. Thank you. Please, hopefully, all of you guys are really researching and taking down notes right now because this is really important. And these kinds of learnings, guys, you won't be able to get them outside for free. So we are very fortunate that Virtudesk offers these kinds of free webinars for all aspiring virtual assistants. Okay. Now these are the positions available at Virtudesk. We have three positions: GVA, General Virtual Assistant; ISA, Inside Sales Associate; and EVA, Executive Virtual Assistant. Okay, so for GVA, that's what we call General Virtual Assistant. This is a non-voice position. So when you mean non-voice, you're not going to be doing phone calls or you're not going to be speaking through the phone. The general virtual assistant consists of social media management, data entry, database management, administrative tasks, email management, and whatsoever. Again, all of the three positions that we have are full time, 8 hours per day, 40 hours a week. And for GVA, this offer is for $3 per hour. Okay. Next is our inside sales associate, which is ISA. This is for $4 per hour. This is a voice position. Okay, so this is very perfect for those who have experience in the BPO industry, since this will consist of outbound cold calling, appointment setting, concierge, database management, and customer service as well. Okay, so let's get back on the GVA. Sorry. So for the GVA position, we require admin-related work experience for 6 months and BPO experience for 6 months. And if you don't have any BPO experience, that's fine, as long as we need the 6 months in the admin-related task, because that's mostly what you're gonna be doing. This is 5 days training with $70 allowance. For ISA, the training is also for 5 days but with $80 allowance. And for ISA, this is where we really need to require the 6 months experience in the BPO experience, because the reason for that is, look at the roles and responsibilities, guys. You're gonna be doing phone calls, and what we need is someone who has already experience. Again, this is do not take this in a negative way. We are a business, guys. All the agencies are business, and of course, we want to speed up the training process. And if you already have experience, then we will get the client. You'll get your client as soon as possible. Okay, and at least you already know how the industry works. And lastly is for our EVA, which is our executive virtual assistant. This is for $5 per hour. I would like to greet everyone a good evening and, of course, a happy Friday. Wow, it's been 3 weeks since April, or the month of April started, and we're just 1 week